A man named Dan is known for exploring abandoned and supposedly haunted locations throughout the United States. One day, while he and his friend were driving along a deserted road deep in the New Mexico desert, they came across a rundown, abandoned travel lodge. Curious, they decided to go inside and investigate. However, what they encountered inside was far more terrifying than anything Dan had experienced before. At one point, he nearly stepped on a coiled rattlesnake without even noticing it at first.
This is why you gotta be really careful out here. Because right there, whoops, right there, is a rattlesnake. And I didn't even see him before I actually stepped over him.
Fortunately, the snake didn't strike, even though Dan had come dangerously close to it. He later pointed out how he had walked right past it, with his footprint clearly visible nearby, and noted that the snake hadn't even rattled. But the real horror came moments later.
There's wood floors.
Out of nowhere, Dan felt a sharp sting on the back of his head. When he turned around, he was suddenly swarmed by a large group of aggressive Africanized killer bees. The hive had been hidden somewhere inside the abandoned building. Instantly overwhelmed, Dan shouted in pain, dropped his camera, and ran out with his friend. The bees chased them relentlessly, attacking as they fled, their panicked screams echoing in the chaos. Eventually, they made it back to their car and stayed inside until the swarm finally dispersed. Only after things calmed down did they return to retrieve the camera. Looking back, Dan admitted that although he had explored many eerie and supposedly haunted places over the years, this location stood out as the most terrifying. A team of paranormal investigators set out one night to explore the abandoned Madison School in Ohio, a location widely believed to be haunted. The building has a long and eerie history. Constructed in 1847, it was later converted into a mental asylum, and during World War II, it served as a hospital for injured soldiers. Since then, it has been left empty, adding to its unsettling reputation.
What? Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he's super red. Look at that.
Oh, something just came through.
Pain.
Oh, it's pain.
Oh, what the?
It almost looks like a thumb.
That's weird. What? It's a weird spot, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even feel anything. Like, it doesn't feel like anything right now.
That's weird.
I guess we'll see if it does start to feel like something.
Turn around again.
So it's burning or something?
I mean, that's...
It's so red.
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like anything. It's weird.
Not long after they entered, something unusual began to happen. One of the investigators suddenly felt an intense burning sensation on his neck. Alarmed, he checked and discovered a large red mark had appeared out of nowhere. Despite this, the group continued their exploration and made their way upstairs.
Yeah, it was like a male voice down there. It was like 2 or 3 years.
Doctor! Doctor!
It said doctor.
It just said doctor.
Right after we heard male voice, it said doctor.
Yeah.
So the thing is, he says he doesn't like to be called a doctor because he says he was a surgeon. So people call him a doctor and it makes him angry. So we call him a doctor, usually.
Is there a doctor down there?
Oh!
Did you hear that?
That is a him.
Definitely heard a voice coming from down there.
It said doctor.
It just said doctor.
Right after we heard male voice, it said doctor.
Yeah.
So the thing is, he says he doesn't like to be called.
It just said doctor.
What followed was even more disturbing. They began to hear a strange, almost like a man speaking from somewhere nearby. Then, across the room, A small, dark, semi-transparent figure briefly appeared, moving quickly before vanishing just as suddenly. At the time, none of the investigators noticed it. It wasn't until they later reviewed their footage that they spotted the mysterious figure, leaving them shocked and deeply unsettled. So, what do you think? Was this real paranormal activity, or could there be another explanation? This footage comes from Japan and was recorded by a couple who run a YouTube channel dedicated to exploring abandoned and allegedly haunted locations. One night, they decided to visit a well-known tunnel rumored to be haunted, a place where many claim strange and frightening occur after dark. When they arrived, the woman entered the tunnel alone to take photos, while her husband remained in the car, keeping an eye on the entrance. What happened next was deeply unsettling. As she stood in the darkness, a pair of strange legs suddenly appeared right behind her. Panicked, she quickly ran out of the tunnel. She later described the legs as swollen and unnatural, unlike anything human.
ちょっと先進みます。で、さっきちょっと暗かったんであれなんですけど、おそらくね、じゃあ写真撮った。
Shortly after, her husband went inside to check, but he couldn't find any sign of what she had seen. This raises the question, is the tunnel truly haunted as people believe? And was that figure a ghost? Or could there be another, more rational explanation? In September 2025, a young woman shared a chilling video captured by a surveillance camera inside her mother's home, where she operates a daycare. One day, while her mother was away at work, one of the children suddenly became terrified, triggering panic among the other kids in the room. What truly unsettled her, however, was the strange that followed, something she couldn't explain. In the footage, a playhouse suddenly collapsed on its own, even though none of the children were anywhere near it. Even more disturbing, this happened moments after the frightened child ran out of the room screaming in fear. The woman was left confused, unable to understand what had scared the child so badly, or how such a heavy object could fall without any contact. After she uploaded the video, viewers began analyzing it more closely. Some claimed to have noticed something unusual, something that might explain the child's reaction. This discovery only made the situation even more terrifying for her. Unfortunately, very little additional information was ever revealed about the incident. What appeared in the footage seemed disturbingly real, leaving many questions unanswered. To this day, whatever happened inside that house remains an unsolved and deeply unsettling mystery.